Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos and Happy New Year. I wish you all a Happy New Year, and this is currently my first video I'm doing of 2019, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves yesterday. So hopefully this year will give us a lot of luck, as I quickly said. So anyway, we'll cut straight into the chase. I've been reading some transfer rumours that's been going on. And I've been reading a lot of reports as well, and potentially the transfer window, as we all know now, is officially open. So we do expect deals will be done in this January transfer window, as we all know. So I've been reading some reports, as I said, and reportedly I've been reading some Man United as well, and reportedly we are linked with another manager, to come in at the end of the season, because potentially Ed Woodward has got plans. He's thinking about recruiting, to get a full-time manager in at the end of the season. We know potentially Pochettino is still the number one target. We know potentially Zinedine Zidane's being mentioned. We know Laurent Blanc's being mentioned, and we know potentially quite a few managers have been named, to come in at the end of the season on a full-time basis. And this is if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. But I do think Solskjaer could get the job on a full-time basis if the team keep playing like this, and we do keep getting positive results. But one name that has been mentioned potentially, he's not a favourite, as we all know, but he would reportedly he's there for the backup option if Man United reportedly do fail to get Mauricio Pochettino in. He's called Marco Rose. Potentially he's the Red Bull Salzburg manager, so he manages the Austrian team Red Bull Salzburg. Reportedly he is linked with a Man United job if reportedly Pochettino does turn down. Is the Red Bull Salzburg manager. He used to manage the Red Bull Salzburg's youth team as well. I've read some of his stats. Reportedly the manager reportedly won the Austrian title in his first season with them as well. Reportedly undefeated this season, and reportedly last season he got them to the Europa League semi-final as well. Throughout his playing career, he mainly played for Mainz 05 in his playing career. He also played for VfB Leipzig as well, and he also reportedly played for Hangover 96. Did the manager as well. So reportedly, he's a backup option. Reportedly, if Pochettino turns down potentially. So reportedly, he has been mentioned in the press, as we all know, but. Potentially, I think it's gonna, potentially, I think it's whoever's gonna come in. I think it's gonna be Solskjaer on a full-time basis, or I do think it's gonna be Zinedine Zidane, because for me, Pochettino, I know he's our number one target. I know the likes of Gary Neville who won 16,000 Man United. I know Scholes came out last year at one point, and Sir Alex Ferguson, who we had 27 years of great success, we won 38 trophies. He said, Pochettino would be the right candidate because he's good at developing young players and blah blah blah. But as I said, I don't think we'll get Pochettino in, because potentially I think he's happy at Tottenham. He's fully committed to Tottenham, as we all know, and he is Premier League proven. But as I said, he's never won out in terms of silverware as Mauricio Pochettino was manager. I know he's been managing since 2009 as Mauricio Pochettino. He's got a good record at Tottenham. He had a good record at Southampton. He played 18 years in his playing career, but obviously he would cost around £40 million with Pochettino, if we were to recommend him in at the end of the season. So we could actually save that money, that 40 million, to probably get a signing on the board. As we all currently know. But yeah, we know Pochettino has got a 5-year deal with Tottenham. He's only spent £50 million since Tottenham since 2014. But for me, he's done well with Tottenham. He's got them up there, in the table. As we all know, they've come close on a couple of occasions, to winning the league. I think they're sitting second now in the league, as I said. And Pochettino's got a lot of good players, and they're due the new stadium as well. So I just don't see any reason why Pochettino would be depart. I think he's got that winning mentality. He understands the Premier League. He understands the philosophy, as we all know. But as I said, he still remains the number one choice as Pochettino, but he's got good players. He's got Dele Alli, he's got Kane, who's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. He's got Song, he's got Moussa Dembele, he's got Alderweireld, he's got Vertonghen. They've got Danny Rose in there, so they have got a good team, and they've got a lot of good young players of Tottenham as well. So mainly Tottenham's built around Mauricio Pochettino, but I just don't see him leaving Tottenham. But he is aware of the speculation. But we know, I think it's going to be either Solskjaer or Zinedine Zidane, as we all know. We know that the Juventus manager had got mentioned in the press the other week of being linked with a Man United job. But potentially Zinedine Zidane, as I said, he could be on his way to Old Trafford at the end of the season if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis, because he's actually destined, to come and manage in the Premier League. Is Zinedine Zidane, potentially he's never managed or played in the Premier League, but he's got that winning mentality. He's dealt with top players. Is Zinedine Zidane. He's won a lot of individual awards. He's won honours, as well as Zinedine Zidane. As we all currently know in the process, he's good at Real Madrid as a manager. As we all know, he won 3 Champions Leagues and all that. He won honours as a player as well with Real Madrid and Juventus in that. He also played for Bordeaux in his playing career. He's had discussions with his representatives about coming to managing English football. Zinedine Zidane. We know he's currently managerless. He's been managerless since May with Real Madrid. As we all currently know, Zinedine Zidane. But I think he's actually destined to come managing the Premier League. But as it did stir up suggestions that he actually met up with a Man United ambassador last year, as we all know, one of the Man United ambassadors, which was Mikael Silvestre, who was here for 9 seasons, won 4 Premier Leagues, won FA Cup, won Champions League, and won the League Cup as well. So that did stir up suggestions a little bit. But he's got a great managerial CV. Zinedine Zidane, he's got a good background, as we all know. But we know Real Madrid have had a lot of problems since he's departed, since Cristiano Ronaldo's departed as well. But I think it will be Solskjaer or Zinedine Zidane that comes in, because I know Pochettino's our number one, but I don't think Pochettino will leave Tottenham. I don't think he's got any reason why he'd want to leave Tottenham. But yeah, as I said, reportedly this Marco Rose has been mentioned. He's potentially been linked with a Man United job. Reportedly as a backup. Marco Rose, he's a Red Bull Salzburg manager. He manages the Austrian team. He is German and reportedly won the Austrian title in his first season, got to Europa League semi-final last season with them as well. I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you. We know also Manchester United, we know that, Laurent Blanc's been mentioned, to come in the job as well, who obviously has a good relationship with Alex Ferguson. He played for us, did Laurent Blanc. I think he won the Premier League with us, was it in 2003? He also played for Barcelona in his playing career, and Montpellier in his playing career as well. And, he's got a good pedigree. He managed France at the top level. He managed Bordeaux, won trophies. He managed the French national team for a couple of years. He also managed Paris Saint-Germain as well, did Laurent Blanc. I think he stepped down as manager in 2016, did Laurent Blanc. So, but we know he's been potentially named as well. We know potentially that the Juventus manager has also been named as well. He was actually mentioned in the press the other week that reportedly he was keen on coming into a manager in the Premier League. The Juventus manager, obviously, who's won 4 consecutive domestic doubles, as we all currently know. He's got a good ratio as well. He's been at Juventus since 2014. He also got them to the 2015 and 2017 Champions League final, as we all currently know. Did the manager? He's been managing since 2003, as we all know. He played for various Italian clubs, in his playing career. He's managed, quite a lot of Italian clubs, as I said. He began, managing a few small Italian teams, obviously. Then he with one team, he got them to their best finish in nearly 15 years. And with AC Milan, he won the Serie A in 2010, 2011, as we all know. But now he's currently at Juventus, as we all know. But reportedly, it did say he was linked with a Man United job. But as I did say to you guys, to be quite honest with you, I do think it will be Solskjaer that gets the job on a full-time basis, or it will be Zinedine Zidane that comes in. But I know Pochettino still remains number one, but I just don't think Pochettino will have any interest of coming in. So the latest name to be mentioned is Marco Rose. As I currently said, I've never heard of him until I, saw his name mentioned, going through, in the press yesterday, as I said. But I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis. He's doing very, very well. He's got that winning mentality at this club. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the traditions of the club, and he knows the club inside out, because obviously, and he's worked with some of the United. He's worked with some of the players in the Manchester United reserve team, when he used to manage the Manchester United reserve team. And he used to say that he won't get the contract term Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He knows the club, as I said. He was a great, great player for 11 years, from 1996 to 2007, won 6 Premier Leagues and won honours as well, and scored 126 goals. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know he didn't do so good at Cardiff, and I know he won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde and all that, but I think he's going to succeed at Manchester United, as I said, because he knows about the club. He said he would like the job on a full-time basis, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he did admit, and he's happy with his team so far. He's basically told them to play the United way, go out there and express themselves, and they have done that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already confirmed to us that, that he needs to pick the best lineups to get the results and that, but, he's going to give everybody the chance. So that's a lot of positivity, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said. He's going to give everybody the chance, including the youth, as we all know. And I think this team's going to grow and develop under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think this team's going to flourish under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he's already confirmed. Everybody's going to get the chance. Obviously, we have to pay a fee of 1.8 million to lend him from Molde, as we all know. But I think he will get the job on a full-time basis. Potentially, our aim this season is to try and get in the top four. I know it's going to be still difficult for us to get top four, but I think this year is going to be a better year. For Manchester United, we had a good end of the year. Getting 3 decent results last year under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 12 goals scored, only 3 conceded. As I said, Pogba, 4 goals in his last 2 games. Got an assist as well against Bournemouth. 2 or 3 assists against Cardiff as well. He's been in absolutely fantastic form. And credit to Solskjaer, the way that he's got the team playing, they're motivated. We're getting fullbacks high up the pitch, they're pressing high up the pitch. We're creating chances. We're getting runs in behind, as we all know. We're causing problems for the opposition's defence, and that's what we want to see. Looking precise on the ball, looking passionate, showing a lot of character. As we all know, having that determination to win the ball straight back. We can now string 13, 14, 15 passes together without losing it. I think we've slightly improved defensively as well, but it just looks a totally different Manchester United team, as we all know. It looks a total different Manchester United. It looks just a total different Manchester United, as it did under Jose Mourinho. There were no positivity that we had last year. The only positivity that we had last year was sacking Jose Mourinho and getting him out of this club, because potentially he was the problem. He had disputes with the board, he had disputes with the players. The players weren't getting along with him. He wasn't getting backed enough in the last summer transfer window. The board weren't backing some of his signings. That he wanted to get into the club, as we all know. But Solskjaer suits which happens to the club. His attacking philosophy is good. He also likes the width as well. But Solskjaer's admitted, everybody's going to get the chance, as he has confirmed, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, the players have been playing really, really well. And 12 goals in 3 games, that's very, very impressive, to be quite fair. And, a Bournemouth game last time out was very, very good. We performed very, very well. It was good to see Lukaku, come off the bench and, get his name on the score sheet, as we all currently know. That was good to see him getting his name on the score sheet. And I said, he struggled with consistency this season. He hasn't been in good form this season, and his big game bottle and his first touch just concern me. But I think he could dramatically improve under Solskjaer. He scored 27 goals in his first season as well. Did Romelu Lukaku, and he scored 45 goals for Belgium, and he's proven in the Premier League. And as I said, I've been very, very. I still think there's areas that we do need to address. We need a right back in there. Maybe get the lot in for Ashley Young. Potentially, I think we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious. I think potentially also we need potentially a backup striker. So there still is areas that we potentially need to address. Whether Solskjaer gets any players in this, whether he gets players in this window or not, I do not know. Reportedly, he was going to get around a £50 million spending spree to spend. Reportedly, it said last year sometime that reportedly he was only allowed 50 million plus. Reportedly, the board had sanctioned Solskjaer getting any permanent deals in this window as well. That's what it allegedly reportedly said. As I said, but there's still certain areas there we do need to strengthen up. But yeah, as I said, 3 wins out of 3 so far under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 12 goals scored, as I said. And we still, I think we've still got a few injury problems. Still got Chris Smalling out. I think Marcus Rojo still remains out. Scott McTominay wears out. But yeah, it'd be good to see. Last time out, Pogba, he could have got an hat-trick against Bournemouth. To be quite honest with you, Paul Pogba hit the post in the second half, and I think he looks good in the number 10 position, Paul Pogba. And when we see him at his best like that, he's like 2 plays in 1, and he can be a player that's on like 12 to 15 goals when he's in, that kind of form. Paul Pogba, to be quite honest, because he has really, really proven himself, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the whole team's playing to its, to the potential level, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And as I said, last year, my expectations for this year is get Manchester United back up there, challenging for major honours. and back up there competing with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. And I think Solskjaer is the right man that can potentially do that. I know people saying you may be overreacting because you've won 3 out of 3, you've scored 12 goals, but you haven't played nobody. You've played Cardiff, who were rubbish. You've played Bournemouth, you've played Huddersfield, who were rubbish, and you've played Bournemouth, who were potentially rubbish as well. But I can't wait till we play the big boys. You know, Tottenham will be a tester for us. PSG in February will be a tester for us. Liverpool at home will be a tester. Chelsea at home and that, you know, will be a tester. You know, Arsenal away, you know, will be a tester as well. So, well, you know, it'll be interesting to see, you know, how we perform in them big games, as we all know. But as I said, you know, everyone will get the chance under Solskjaer. As I said, you know, it's just a shame we're going into this Newcastle game on Wednesday, as we all know. And Rashford's a good young player, and as he's progressing up the ranks, you know, he's been a Manchester United player, you know, since the age of 7, as Marcus Rashford, as we all know, progressing up the ranks. Got a good pedigree of scoring on his debut, as well as Marcus Rashford, as we all know. But potentially, reportedly, Real Madrid have still kept that interest in him. Reportedly, he's willing to snub Real Madrid off. He is still under contract till 2020. And I think Rashford's a number 9, in my perspective of opinion. I think definitely Marcus Rashford's a number 9. It was good to see him get a goal and assist last time out against Bournemouth as well. These slight concerns that he could actually miss the Newcastle game. He limped off with a groin injury, as well did Marcus Rashford. So I hope that it's not too serious, and I hope he can feature against Newcastle. We know that Alexis Sanchez is going to get the chance to feature against Newcastle, as Solskjaer has already confirmed that he will be involved. Alexis Sanchez against Newcastle, because obviously he's been out, he's had a hamstring injury, and his fitness regimes looks very, very good, as Alexis Sanchez. And we know, you know, he was supposed to be in contention to feature against Bournemouth, but he didn't. But as I said, he will be featuring against Newcastle tomorrow night, which is good news. But he's on £500,000 a week, and he hasn't really, you know, proven himself, you know, since he's come to United. You know, he has got pace, he can create chances, he can score goals, and he has got pace, just like Martial's got pace, Rashford's got pace, Lingard's got pace. So the players amongst him, you know, have got pace just like him. But we know Lukaku hasn't got any pace, and that's something somewhere along the line, you know, Lukaku does need to improve on. I think he needs to improve on his finishing. As we all know, because I do have reservations about Romelu Lukaku. But as I said, you know, regarding Sanchez, he will get the chance to prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Newcastle. But yeah, the whole team are playing really, really well. It's confirmed that Valencia still will remain the captain. In my opinion, I'd give the captain's armband to Paul Pogba, you know, if I were Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But also, guys, we know Eric Bailly is suspended for the next couple of games. He got sent off against Bournemouth, so that's a shame to see, because Bailly hasn't had a lot of game time this season, but he has got a lot of great potential as Eric Bailly, and he can be a great composed defender. So he will be missing. So I'll probably, no doubt, because obviously Smalling's injured, Rojo's injured. I think Phil Jones, you know, will be playing alongside Lindelof against Newcastle, I should presume. Lindelof dramatically improved this season, you know, when he has been fully fit. You know, he's really improved this season. Fred and Delort missed Bournemouth, so I think, you know, maybe one of them at least, or both of them could, you know, get in the starting 11 against Newcastle, Fred and Delort. And Fred, you know, we paid £52 million for him last summer. I think he needs more game time under his belt, you know, to prove his potential level, you know, to be quite fair. So he needs more game time, does Fred. I think Andrews Pereira will definitely get more game time as well. But yeah, there's still certain areas that Manchester United, you know, do need to address in the team, as I said. And I still think, you know, there's, you know, Juan Mata may come in the team against Newcastle as well, because potentially he didn't feature against Bournemouth as well. But I think Juan Mata, you know, is a good player. He was a major signing when we got him from Chelsea in 2014. Very, very consistent. I know you can put him in the middle. You can put him on the right, Juan Mata, as we all know. But Juan Mata's a very, very good player. You know, he's very consistent. He can create chances, and he can score goals, as we all know. I think he scored like 50 goals. He's got in the English Premier League. He's got 50 assists. As well as Juan Mata, but we got him for just under £40 million from Chelsea. I said he hasn't featured much from the start this season, Juan Mata, but you know, I think he'll definitely get more game time under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. He's still got to think about contract renewals, as we all know, because there's a lot of players, you know, coming to the end of the contracts, as we all know. But he will rotate the squad a little bit, you know, for the Newcastle game. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I said, this is going to be between Manchester United and Newcastle. There has been actually 166 meetings between Manchester United and Newcastle. Man United have won, I think, 85. Newcastle have won 42, reportedly. But it's a game that you'd think Manchester United would win, considering, the form we're in. I think Solskjaer's going to elevate us to the higher level, as we all know. And potentially, yeah. So Newcastle have only beaten us once. We've only lost one in our last 8 league games against Newcastle. They did beat us last season. I did my preview yesterday to go check last year, so go check it out. Newcastle beat us back in February last year by 1-0, but they haven't beaten us in back-to-back home games since like 1987 of Newcastle. Newcastle lost their last 7 out of their 10 home games. As we all know, they've had 10 defeats this season, so they have been very, very poor with Newcastle. They've only won 4, drawn 6 and lost 10, as I said, and they are sitting 15th, as we all know, in Newcastle. But they are struggling at Newcastle, and probably, they'll be fighting relegation this season. The game earlier on in the season was actually 3-2 to Manchester United. We was actually 2-0 down in that game. And that's when, we came back in the second half and won 3-2, I think. Sanchez, got the winner. And that moment, actually, that's when actually Jose Mourinho should have been sacked at that point, because it said regardless of the result anywhere in that game, Mourinho was going to get sacked, but he didn't, as we all know. But yeah, I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. I know they've got Rafael Benitez of Newcastle. He's got a good pedigree as Rafael Benitez, quite fair. He's won trophies, as I said, in his last 4 games, in each of his last 4 games, each of his last 4 home games, he has won against he has won again as he has won as an English manager against Manchester United. That's including once with Chelsea, twice with Liverpool, once with Newcastle back in February as well. But potentially Rafa Benitez, he's the only actually manager in history as Rafael Benitez to potentially win the Champions League, the Europa League, the Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup as well. When during his he managed Valencia, he won the La Liga and UEFA Cup with Valencia. Did Rafael Benitez, I think? I think he did. With Liverpool, he won the FA Cup. He won the Champions League as well. He won the Super Cup as well with Liverpool. With Chelsea, he won the Europa League, as we all know. With Newcastle, he won the Championship in 2016-17 as well. I think he won the FIFA Club World Cup with Inter Milan. Did Rafael Benitez as well. So he has won a lot. He has won quite a bit of silverware, throughout his managerial career, as we all know. And potentially, but I think Newcastle will be fighting relegation this season, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But as I said, it's good to see the team are playing well together as a team. They're communicating very, very well, passing the ball very, very well, showing a lot of heart, showing a lot of desire, showing a lot of intensity. As we all know, looking better in the attacking third of the pitch. His movement looks very, very good. We're looking sharp on the ball. We look fast. I think we look good on the width as well. The movement on the width is very, very good. The combinations looking very, very good. And we have got a great, great team because, as I said, a lot of money's been invested into that team. Mourinho spent over 400 million. Spent £700-800 million since Alex Ferguson retired, but I think this team is going to become a replica of what the team achieved and did under Alex Ferguson after them years and years of success, as we all know. But as I said, there's still players Ethan Fergie, such as Phil Jones. He's good when he gets them run of games. He's Phil Jones. I know that he's known for injuries. Smalling's still Ethan the Fergie days. He's got a contract till 2022 as well. But there's still a couple of players here from the Alex Ferguson days. Antonio Valencia as well is still here. So we've still got a few players here from the Alex Ferguson days. But as I said, whether Solskjaer gets any players in this January window or not, I do not know. We know reportedly, it says in the press, according to the media, also to update with yesterday, we are still looking for reinforcements because I still think players could go. I still think Fellaini could go. I don't know how he's going to fit in the new regime at Manchester United. I think Darmian could go. There's been a few Italian teams interested in Matteo Darmian as well. So potentially, I think he will go. I think Fellaini will go as well. I think Nemanja Matic has done well in these 3 games. I do have reservations about him. He's slow. He doesn't have much tempo to his play. But I did say I do think we do need another centre defensive midfielder. As he currently said. But yeah, going to rumours, so reportedly Man United are going to go for Koulibaly next summer. reportedly we're going to go out and sign Koulibaly next summer, because I think Napoli are reluctant to sell him in this window. But Koulibaly is under contract now to 2023. In the process, Manchester United have actually had 3 bids turned down for the player. In the current process, we've had 3 bids turned down for the player. As I said, we've had 3 bids turned down. The recent one was a staggering £95 million. Napoli rate him at around £90 million, as we all currently know. But as I said, he's done very, very well for Napoli. He adapts every area of his game very, very well. He's got a lot of tenacity, part his play, very, very good in the air as well. He's been a full international, since 2015 as Koulibaly. Ed Woodward had actually been in discussions with the Napoli officials about getting a deal over the line, but the Napoli president had confirmed this £95 million bid had been put in, but reportedly it had been turned down. He suffered racial abuse, and he said reportedly Napoli had actually lowered their asking price for the player. His versatility is very, very good as well, and I think he'd lead our backline very, very well if you put him alongside Bailly and Lindelof. And we've also got Rojo there as a backup option, and he can play as left wing back. You can also play him as a central defender, and you can also play him as an actual fullback as well. So Rojo's versatility is very, very good, but we know that he's there as a backup option. But Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk. He also used to play for Menk as well, but the Senegal international is one of the finest, defenders out there, as we all currently know. But we know potentially he was a main priority target. We know Torre Alderweireld is another potential option as well. Obviously, he's going to be available for 25 million next summer, because that's his release clause, because they've included this release clause in his current contract extension, as Pochettino has confirmed, as we all know. But as I did say, Toby Alderweireld said I had reservations about him. I think he needs to adjust his game a little bit more, to be quite honest with you. But his versatility is good. He can play as a centre-back, he can play him as a full-back, but he can prove to be a world-class central defender, can Toby Alderweireld, because he's strong, he's quick, he's very, very good in the air. And as I said, I do have reservations about him. I did say I think he's lost the pace a little bit, Alderweireld. Man United were in discussions of getting a deal over the line for Toby Alderweireld last summer, but obviously, we never... somewhere, shape, or form, we never got a deal over the line, because Tottenham were demanding too much money. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham, and he is Premier League proven as well. So potentially, he probably would cost us around £30 million if we were to try and get a deal over the line for him in January. But I don't think he'll leave in January. I do think he'll leave next summer, because he's available for 25 million next summer. Is Toby Alderweireld, and we know what Tottenham are like. They're ruthless over their players, and they don't like selling their top players. The Tottenham Hotspur, as we all currently know. But saying there are 2 players Manchester United have been linked with. We know potentially the rumours were coming out last year about potentially Man United being linked with Douglas Costa as well. And I do like Douglas Costa, because potentially he has fallen down the pecking order. Juventus, since Ronaldo's arrival at Juventus, he's fallen down the pecking order, Douglas Costa, but his dribbling's good. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He can put crosses into the box, and to be quite honest with you, I do think he'd complement our team very, very well with Douglas Costa, to be quite honest with you. He's now at Juventus. He was on a 1-year loan deal with Juventus last season. Juventus obviously paid £36 million. He triggered his release clause and paid £36 million for him, Douglas Costa, as we all know. But he's had a good, decent playing career so far. He's 28 years of age, is Douglas Costa, as we all know. We won't sign him anywhere, but I don't think we will anywhere. But he said last year Man United have reportedly put a £54 million bid in. Reportedly, Juventus had turned this down, reportedly. But he's good for Juventus, Douglas Costa, but he's fallen down the pecking order. As we all know, he's not been a regular starter for Juventus this season, Douglas Costa, as I said. But it was good when he was young in his prime. I thought he was good at Bayern Munich. He won 2 titles with Bayern Munich. He had a good 4 or 5 years with Shakhtar Donetsk as well. He won honours there, including a domestic treble. And he actually began his career with Guerrero. So potentially we know there's been rumours about Douglas Costa. There were rumours stemming last year in the press, as we all know. But Solskjaer's confirmed he still wants Martial. We've still got a lot of players coming to end of the deals, as we all know. And potentially... And potentially, he still said he's urged that he wants Martial and David De Gea to sign new deals at Manchester United, because obviously last year, as it did confirm that we did put a 12-month extension on their current contract, because we had the option to extend their contracts, by a further year. But saying about Antonio Martial, reportedly last year his representative come out and said potentially he was pessimistic over Martial signing a new deal with the club. Man United have been in talks. He actually turned down the previous contract offer. He said during the course of last summer, he did actually say his representative that he did want to leave Manchester United, Anthony Martial, but he's a good player, and I think he's going to grow and develop very, very well. Antonio Martial, to be quite honest with you, he's a very, very good young age, talented player, as we all know. And he's been good for us this season, when, potentially when he has been fully fit. But we'll see what happens. And same with David De Gea. He wants him to sign a new long-term deal, but there's been no sign of it yet. We did activate that clause to extend his contract till 2020, as that was confirmed last year. But as I said, we know he's been linked with a move to Juventus. We know he's been linked with a move to Paris Saint-Germain, as we all know. But there's been no sign of him yet signing a new long-term deal. We know he's on the brink of joining Real Madrid in 2015, as we all know, David De Gea. But potentially, since he's been here, he's made like 300 appearances. I think he's made like 95, 96 clean sheets. Out of 200 odd appearances in the Premier League, but it's over 300 odd appearances in all competitions. As we all know, David De Gea has won Clubs Player of the Year 4 out of 5 series. He's won the Matt Buzzley Player of the Year award quite a few times as well. But I think he's happy to stay at Manchester United. Is David De Gea. So we definitely see what happens. And we got him for like 18 million pounds, from Atletico Madrid in 2011. As we all know, David De Gea. And he began his career at 13. He won the Europa League, and I think he won the Super Cup with Atletico Madrid as well. So he has risen up the ranks very, very well. And look how he's turned out now, David De Gea, as we all know. But potentially, I hope, De Gea can sign a new long-term deal. I hope Martial can sign a new long-term deal. As I currently said, but I've been watching United, and we've been absolutely phenomenal. Creativeness, passion, hard working, very, very energetic in the midfield, passing the ball very, very well. And Pogba, has been absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational, as I said. And, I hope he continues providing these assists, scoring these goals, because I think he looks better in a number 10. Whether he's in a mid or you put him in a free role, I think he's been performing very, very well. But he looks good in that number 10, just behind, when he was just playing behind Marcus Rashford, in the Bournemouth game, I thought Pogba looked very, very good. I thought the team are just fully expressing themselves, as we all know. But credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got them playing the way, that we used to play under Alex Ferguson, as we all know. But we've got a great team. It's just that we've always had a great team. It's just that, under the managerial eras such as Moyes, the players weren't playing for him. The players weren't playing under Van Gaal. These players weren't playing under Mourinho, but all of a sudden now they're playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So it's good to see the fans are happy. It's good to see the players are happy. And as I said, Solskjaer has brought positivity back to the club, as we all know, which is very, very good to see. He's going to rotate, as he has confirmed. I think there's some games today to update you. I think Everton have got. I think Arsenal. Is it Arsenal? Fulham at home. I can't remember them all. I haven't seen them. I think Arsenal have got Fulham at the Emirates. I think to kick New Year off, is it Everton Leicester? If I'm quite sure, I might be wrong about that. I'm not too sure, but I haven't seen the fixtures anywhere. So what do you think to the Marco Rose latest news? Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. I think Manchester United are still 8 points behind top 4 at this moment. We're only 3 points behind Arsenal, but obviously if Arsenal win, they'll have a 6-point lead over us. Obviously, we play tomorrow evening against Newcastle, as we all know. You've already seen my preview, so go check it out, as I currently said. We'll be back live soon with some more transfer news to update you with, like, what's going on with Chelsea's transfer rumours, what's going on with Arsenal's transfer rumours. And we'll give you an update on Liverpool's transfer rumours, as we always do on this channel. So drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider. And wish you all a happy new year, as I said at the beginning of the video. And I'll be back soon with some more live videos. Take care, guys.